Hello, my name is Leo and welcome again to a new day of the Elder Scrolls Arena. We are now fast traveling to... It's not Tartan Wood, it's the other one, Riverhold. Riverhold. We have to give back the daughter that was imprisoned in that last place that we did yesterday. Which was a pretty fun episode actually, killing that vampire. Which the first time I failed miserably and the second time I completely owned him. Because I came prepared. But yeah. And then after we get that done, then we can move on to Tartan Wood or Torton Wood, whatever it's called, whatever. And then we'll be done with this place, pretty much, pretty freaking much. Now we made a rule, right? Now that we've reached like over 200 episodes, we were going to forcibly get out of this province. Is that what you were going to do? Or are we still town hopping and doing missions? I'm still... No, okay. So, originally, right, before we hit the 200 mark, I would... Obviously, I'm basically making my way towards Valenwood. However, what I was doing is, if I had no Lord's mission at the time, I would move, like, fast travel to the next town that's on the way to Valenwood, and then I would spend some time in that town until I got a Lord's mission. That's what I was doing, right? Now that we're over time, you know, with over 200 videos, what I'm going to do is I'm still going to town hop, and let's face it, from Tortonwood to Valenwood, there's only like, what, 3 or 4 cities. I'm going to town hop to each city, check in with the Lord. If there's a Lord's mission, we'll do it. If there isn't, then we will just be on our merry way. So, I'm not going to say fingers crossed because I'm making these rules up myself so that I can do more Lord's missions. But a part of me wants us to not get any Lord's missions so that we can actually make it to frickin' Valenwood. So I get this damn skeleton key. Not that I even need it. I've got two friggin' accessories that have opening spells on them. One of them is the only accessory I have in that class. The ring. Why do I even need this skeleton key? I don't. I'm just doing it for the lols. Oh, fantastic. Well, come on. We started this game. Well, we got out of the dungeon. And then we were just doing little piddly missions, right? Yeah. And we were doing like some dungeon crawling. And then we started doing Lord's missions. And now previously we were in the Lord's mission sort of thing. And now we're sort of upgrading, doing missions of a higher caliber, i.e., whatchamacallit. I know you're trying to say something. I am. What am I trying to say? The artifact quests. You do know you can only do one artifact quest at a time, right? I know. So now I know that this rule that you've set applies to elsewhere. Does it also apply to Valenwood and all the other provinces? So are we going to see sort of faster progression through this game because we're not going to be fucking around more? Probably. It's not a rule for the other provinces. So when we get to Valenwood, we're probably going to spend probably another 200 episodes of Valenwood. Once we reach the 400 episode mark, then I will set that rule for Valenwood and etc, 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 until we're actually... How many provinces are there again? Okay. There is High Rock, Redguard, it's called Hammerfell, whatever. High Rock, Hammerfell, Skyrim, Morrowind, the Imperial Province doesn't really count, Black March, Elsewhere, Valenwood, and Sunset Isles. That's 8 provinces, not including the Imperial City, because reasons. Because it's not really a province, it's just one town. Yeah. So there's 9, so that means if we're doing this 200 episode rule, look, this isn't set in stone, okay? But, and hold out until you jump to conclusions. But just to finish my sentence, yes, following that, if we were following that rule, which we're not, but if we were following that rule, then when we reach the 200 times 9, 1,801 month? Really? Sorry, the 1,801st video. Then we will be pretty much going straight for story missions and nothing else. Like, we'll be charging through the game a lot faster. That being said, don't worry, I'm not really going to do that. I'm pretty confident that, like, the little missions are really boring and there's no really point to them anymore. Like, they don't give me like enough money. They waste time, and I'm not leveling up. Right? I don't need to level up that much, I don't think. I'm pretty sure I can finish this game now at the level I am now. So, once we get to Valenwood, we are probably, like, if I've got no Lord's missions, well, at the moment, I'm going to fully focus, I'm going to consider the artifact quest to get the skeleton key as a Lord's mission. So even if I don't have any Lord's missions, I'm still going to quickly, like, town hop, just checking in with the Lord to see if of that town, see if there's a mission, and moving on. I'm not going to spend any more time because I want to hurry up and get this. Once we've got the skeleton kit, which might be in a completely another province, remembering that the dungeon in Valenwood has a map to the location of the key. So the key could be in friggin' Morrowind for all we know. Could be in Hammerfell, which would be great because we can actually do the next part of the mission while we're there. But Jesus, yeah, you're right. It could be anywhere, right? Could be the Imperial City for all we know. Really? Oh, it could be. Can you get back into the Imperial City dungeon? I don't know. I've never been there before. So, one of these days we'll get there. But in the meantime, yeah. So, and once we get the skeleton key, depending on what province we're in, we might regress back to the way we were at the beginning of the game, you know? But now that I've got that updated taken care of, there is something that I would like to talk about. Now, it's a pretty old movie, it's been out for a long time. That being said, it hasn't really been out in Japan for a long time. I meant to see it I actually wanted to see it in the cinema. Avo and Blackjack watched it, and they said it was not that great. I still wanted to see it. I never saw it in the cinema because the waifu had no interest, but I always wanted to see it, and it was out on DVD here. It was like $100, $100 yen, $1, sorry, to see it. So I just rented it and I watched it. The movie is Wreck-It Ralph. Now, like I said before, Avo and Blackjack said it was not that great movie. We were all hyped for the movie when like the trailers were out, because, you know, look at all like I was legitimately impressed that they were able to get like the go ahead from all these different game companies to get like Sonic characters, Street Fighter characters. They had other Sega characters in there. They had Dig Dug. I don't think Dig Dug was actually difficult to get though. Because, not Dig Dug. Oh, no, Dig Dug is in there. You're right. You were actually thinking of Cubit, though. I was thinking of Cubit. And, you know, other characters. I mean, it was a fun, you know. And, you know, to be fair, this is what Avo and Blackjack said, as well as a lot of other critics. All those, like, different characters and stuff, is like the first, 10, 20 minutes of the movie. And then it's all... like, it goes to Hero's Duty, which is actually pretty fun, and then, like, Sugar Rush. Sugar Rush, Sugar Rush, Sugar Rush, Sugar Rush. Like, the whole movie was like Sugar Rush. Like, it was all Sugar Rush. And I liked it, but, I mean, obviously, you know, Avo, Blackjack, especially Avo, does like those soppy freaking Disney shit, which is what the Sugar Rush portion of the movie really was. So, but yeah, I know, I watched it. Now, interesting note, guess what like, in Japan, like American movies, like Hollywood movies and stuff, they usually give them, sometimes they have, like, the same, like, the English name, but, like, sort of Japanized. Like, the new RoboCop movie was called RoboCop. But, like, a lot of the times they change the name of the movie. For example, the Mummy series. So, the Mummy, what was it? No, it was the Mummy. The Mummy Returns, and I think it was just The Mummy 3, Jade Emperor or something. In Japan, those movies were called Hamanaptra, meaning, the city of the dead in Japan. So it was Hamanacha, Hamanacha 2, and Hamanacha 3, which is weird that they would call it that. But, whatever. Um, but yeah, guess what the title for Wreck-It Ralph was? It was Sugar Rush. Which makes perfect sense, because the movie is more about Sugar Rush than it is the game Wreck-It Ralph. Granted, the entire protagonist is Wreck-It Ralph, but I'm merely referring to the 4 main worlds that movie encompasses. The first is the game Wreck-It Ralph. Well, actually there's 5 when you think about it. There's the game Wreck-It Ralph, there's the real world, which is the actual arcade, there's Game Central, which isn't really a world, it's a very small world, there's Hero's Duty, and then there is, what you call it? Sugar Rush. Well, there was technically, there was Tapper's Bar. That wasn't really a world, though. I would really class that as part of, Game Central, as well as Pac-Man's World, where they had the Badanon meeting. But yeah, I don't know, I kind of liked it. Yeah, but it makes perfect sense that they would call it Sugar Rush, and like really market it as like a bit of a chick, like a little girl movie. The funny thing is that you might not have noticed this. I don't know if you like sat and watched the ending credits, but I think it's the second song that plays. It's this Japanese song. Just throw it in there. I'm like, why is there a Japanese song here? And I thought, oh, is that because this is the Japanese version of the game? They made a Japanese song? But no, it's in the English version of the game. When Wreck-It Ralph first goes to Sugar Rush, there's a song playing, and the lyrics are, although it's really impossible to hear it in the actual movie, it's SUGAR, jump into my racing car, it's Sugar Rush, Sugar Rush. And that repeats, and then that's it, and then Wreck-It Ralph goes, oh god, I'm in Sugar Rush. So that's the song that plays in the credits. That is actually a song by AKB48, which is a very popular J-pop group in Japan that I have no interest in. It's got 48 members. Actually, it's got more members than that. But each song usually uses 48 girls to sing in chorus, and they sometimes take turns. And it's this new way that like girl bands are. J-pop bands are going in Japan these days. One of the ideas of AKB48 is, like, unlike normal bands that sort of do concerts and stuff, like once every now and again, they actually have their own theater in Akihabara in Tokyo, where they do daily shows, which is why they've got so many people, because they have a rotating roster. So you can always go there and watch them if you so desire. And they've spawned a bunch of other groups as well. There's like one based in, I think it's Osaka or Kyoto or something like that, and then there's one in Singapore and one in like Thailand, and they're fully branching out. But yeah, so that was really odd that song was in the game, and the name of the song is called Sugar Rush. And when you see like the trailers and stuff of the movie in like the video store, that song is playing. So it's all Sugar Rush. Like Wreck-It Ralph is like relegated to like this 3rd tier character, and it's just all about Sugar Rush and what's her face, Vanellope von Schweep. That's all the game is about. I mean, that's all the movie's about, according to the Japanese. It's really weird like that. But yeah, I don't know. Did you guys have you seen Wreck-It Ralph? Did you like it? I personally thought it was okay. It was worth the dollar that I paid to watch it. I probably would have been disappointed if I saw it in the cinema. I very, very rarely go to the cinema these days. I wanted to see Avengers in the cinema. I never actually got to. I ended up watching it on Blu-ray. But that was a great movie. Movies that I've watched in the cinemas that I've enjoyed were The Matrix 2 and 3, Kill Bill 1 and 2, and Pacific Rim more recently. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this. I'll say this as well, because this is another point. I think I have said this when I talked about Pacific Rim. Is when you go to the movie theater in Japan and it's an American movie, generally speaking, the voice is actually in English with Japanese subtitles, which is great for when you want to go see movies. You just can't go watch Japanese movies because they're Japanese. with no subtitles. But you could go fully watch, American movies with Japanese subtitles, and like it's the original Japanese English audio, which is really cool. But anyway, that's enough about Sugar Rush a la Wreck-It Ralph. But when we come back, we should have arrived in Riverhold, and we'll give back the daughter. I do have to remember. I'll do it right now when I stop recording. I do have to remember to ravage that daughter before I give it back. Because last time, totally wasted opportunity. So this time, I'll just cracking the knuckles. I'll go and unzip my pants and ravage that daughter before I give it back, and then we'll move on to Tarnum Wood. So for now, my name is Leo, and I'll see you next time. No, wait, hang on. I totally forgot to introduce this week's video series, which is more Metal Gear Rising. So go check that out, and do some Zenbutts. But yeah, I'll do my end closing bit again. My name is Leon. I'll see you next.